Now, on Sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, Hunter Biden indicted on gun charges, the historic indictment coming on the heels of an impeachment inquiry into the president. We have the latest. And we're continuing coverage on a deadly shooting this week in Victoria. 25 News now learning the victim's identity and has more on what happened in the moments leading up to the shooting. Plus, a federal judge in Texas has ruled against Biden's DACA regulation for dreamer immigrants, calling the policy unlawful. Details on this story and more minutes away.
Let's take a look at temperatures in the 70s area wide, 80s along the immediate coast, warming up today in a pretty big way. Thunderstorms likely as well. We'll take a look coming up.
When two top 3 ranked teams faced off, a junior running back stepped up and had a big game. We hear from him in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain.
I'm Trey Manning.
And today it's the 15th day.
Already, yes.
But it's the first day, well, the 15th day of September, but it's the first day of Hispanic Heritage Month. And so that'll go all the way through, I believe, October 15th.
Interesting, yes.
And Trey, it's Online Learning Day.
Oh yeah, I took some correspondence courses via online learning in my past.
You know, I really struggle with online learning, but I know that it was a big savior or a big help during the pandemic when everyone had to switch to online learning.
Very much so, but you have to keep in mind that discipline yourself, because there's not a teacher there to tell you what to do and when to do it. You have to, of course, discipline yourself to get that work done.
Trey, I need that lecture. I need that in-person experience.
I'm here to inform and educate, yes.
Maybe I'll get the hang of online learning one day. All right, Trey. Well, how's it looking out there? We're seeing more rain?
More rain, yes, exactly. So any online courses you have to do, you may want to get caught up on that this weekend because the rainfall will be in our forecast, especially today. Temperature is currently in the 70s and 80s along the coast, 80-degree reading, of course, there in Port O'Connor, and same in Port Lavaca and down to Seadrift along the warm waters. And then we go inland along US 59 in the mid-70s. That's the same going up there toward Gonzales and Hallettsville. And looking at the temperatures this hour across the state of Texas, well, here's some hope of fall headed our way in the 60s, currently low 60s at that up there in Amarillo. It's staying up there for the most part, but gradually will get here before too much longer. There is a front over our region here that will cool us down a little bit, but the main thing this front is going to do is give us good rain chances because it's a boundary line, and boundary lines, of course, create lift in the atmosphere. That's what causes rain for us. And school bus forecast for the kiddos headed to school, 75 degrees, dress cool for school, and bring that rain gear today. And by the time you return home, 3:30 in the afternoon or so, about 90 degrees. You'll be needing that umbrella and rain gear at the time because a pretty good rain shower fall, and there's no chance at that time as well. And later on, coming up for the night, we have the big game of the week. Crossroads Football Live. The game of the week is the Calhoun Santa Crabs versus the Yoakum Bulldogs. They're playing in Yoakum Bulldog Stadium. Kickoff time 7 p.m., 84 degrees at kickoff time, so dress cool for the game. And bring your rain gear because the thunderstorms will be pretty much active around that time, so be careful out there as you're enjoying the game. What about the forecast for the weekend? We'll take a look coming up a little bit later on. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey. Federal prosecutors have indicted Hunter Biden, the son of President Joe Biden, on 3 counts tied to the possession of a gun while using narcotics. 2 counts are tied to Hunter Biden on claims that he filed a form claiming that he was not using illegal drugs at the time he purchased a Colt Cobra revolver in October 2018. The 3rd count claims he possessed a firearm while using a narcotic. The historic indictment against the son of a sitting president comes after a plea deal that might have ended a years-long probe into Hunter Biden fell apart, and just as House Republicans have launched an impeachment inquiry in an effort to seek bank records and other documents from the president and his son. If convicted, Hunter Biden faces a maximum penalty of 25 years in prison, but actual sentences for federal crimes are typically less than the maximum penalties. We're learning more about a shooting Wednesday night that left a 57-year-old man dead in Victoria. Police say a disturbance broke out between the victim and 4 others before the victim was shot. 3 suspects were taken into custody, and a 4th one, possibly related to the shooting, is on the run this morning. The victim, 57-year-old Hector Gonzalez, was gunned down in the 2000 block of Crestwood Drive. Police say they responded to the scene and found him shot on the sidewalk. Life-saving measures were attempted, but they were unsuccessful. Gonzalez would later die at a Victoria area hospital. Authorities determined through a preliminary investigation that the suspects involved were in a verbal altercation with Gonzalez before shots rang out. 17-year-old Logan Robles is charged in Hector Gonzalez's death. He's charged with murder and engaging in organized criminal activity. The bond is set at $150,000 for engaging in organized criminal activity charge. There is no bond for the murder charge. He's currently in the Victoria County Jail. VPD also arrested 2 more teens in connection with Gonzalez's death. A 15-year-old teen boy was charged with murder, engaging in organized criminal activity, and possession of a controlled substance. A 16-year-old teen boy was also charged with murder and engaging in organized criminal activity. And here's more on the 4th suspect. He was last seen wearing a black hat and a gray shirt with white text. He was also wearing black, white, and red shorts with red shoes. A judge has ruled against President Biden's DACA regulation for Dreamer immigrants. A Texas judge declared a revised version of the federal policy keeping more than 500,000 Dreamers from being deported as illegal. After the Biden administration moved last year to finalize the rule to codify the DACA policy into a federal regulation, a group of Republican-led states challenged the effort. For decades, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals policy has allowed more than 580,000 undocumented immigrants who arrive in the U.S. as children to receive work permits and deportation relief. The Wharton Journal-Spectator reports El Campo police have identified 2 more suspects involved in the theft of a tabernacle. The tabernacle was stolen from St. Robert's Catholic Church 2 weeks ago. This is the first suspect who was taken down in the theft, 29-year-old Jose Jaramillo of El Campo. He faces theft of property, criminal mischief, and damage to a place of worship charges. Parts of the tabernacle have since been returned to the church. However, some parts are still missing. The Wharton Journal-Spectator says police did not say whether the other missing parts of the tabernacle could be found intact. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time is now 6:37 on our Friday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. A community meeting held last night to gather public input on the Victoria transit system.
The United Auto Workers Union has launched a targeted strike against Detroit's big 3 automakers. I'm ABC's Justin Finch with more on that and one auto CEO's reaction to the union's demands.
And a stationary front over our region today will keep the thunderstorm chances pretty much alive for us as we go throughout the day on your Friday, even into your Saturday. What about the rest of the weekend and next week? We'll take a look coming up in your full forecast.
Here's a look at what's coming up on Community Crossroads. We hear from the City of Victoria, the Quilt Guild. We also learn about a domestic violence awareness event, and we hear from some BC athletes.
As well as we've increased our sports sponsorship this year by extending cross country to track and field. So it's increased the number of athletes that we've enrolled here at Victoria College to about double from what it was when I took over.
Today, because we do have a marginal risk of severe weather across the crossroads again today like we did yesterday. Yes, it's the smallest risk on the chart, but it's still a risk nonetheless, so we need to keep heads up about the weather. We'll keep you updated right here. Of course, hail will be primary threats, especially damaging wind and frequent lightning will be the most things we need to look for in the storms that are coming on through. It could cause some localized flooding in some of the areas and some of the heavier rainfall. Currently, we're seeing rainfall in and around the areas of Carson City. This was a group of thunderstorms that was quite heavy in San Antonio earlier this morning, but it's pretty much just faded away now. The main actions along the coast, now from Calhoun County, the areas near Alamo Beach, Magnolia Beach, and down to Port O'Connor. Now moving into areas south of Bay City and in Matagorda County toward Brazoria County. And we'll be seeing thunderstorms erupting around in the inland areas are coming up for 2 months longer in the daytime heat. So keep that umbrella handy and be weather aware throughout the day. Be careful out there. Your full forecast comes along a little bit later on before we go this half hour. Carolina.
Thank you, Trey. Refugio's game is canceled tonight, but one Bobcat had a good night last week. Sports Director Gino Perez has more.
The game of the week has featured yet another athlete this week. This time it's royalty out of Refugio. Big-time players show up in big-time games, and running back Jordan King showed up in the biggest moment of the season so far. The game plan heading into Friday night was to run the ball and take whatever the defense gives them. Well, King got a lot of the work on the ground, and the Bobcats needed every yard he could muster in the victory. The Bobcats trailed heading into halftime, but Refugio head coach Jason Herring preached they just needed to keep fighting and stay bonded to make it through, and they did.
My mindset in the game was just to go out and do what it takes to win the game and just keep fighting to the end. And with the coaches, it was just they just had us well prepared, and just they knew what it takes to win the game. It was just we had to come through and just follow the game plan.
The Refugio Bobcats just edged out the Edna Cowboys in the second overtime, which ended in questionable fashion. But either way, King does not focus on the past.
We just don't listen to that kind of stuff. We just let them talk and just keep going about our business. That's why we just get better and better every week, and we just come closer and just grow a stronger bond, and we just get better every week.
King prays before every game, thanking the Lord that he is able to play the game he loves and to keep him injury-free. Football is not Jordan's only sport that he excels in. He was also on the state championship track team, running the 100-meter dash and 4x100-meter relay as an alternate, also with throwing discus and shot put. The running back gets in the mindset before a game by listening to Rod Wave and Young Boy before games and does not shy away from the big moment.
It means a lot. It's just knowing that I have to come out and compete and just be the best I can be. It just puts more pressure on my shoulders, and they say pressure make diamond. I think I'm a diamond. Yeah, but I just try to just my mindset just don't go down. Just keep going till I can't go no more.
Coming from a prestigious town like Refugio, the goal is always a state title. Individually, however, King wants to end the season with 2,000 yards rushing and 25 touchdowns. Currently, he sits just over 500 yards and 9 touchdowns. In the game of the week, Jordan King rushed for 235 yards and 3 touchdowns in the double overtime victory over Edna to become this week's Athlete of the Week. That's your 25 Sports Now.
Thank you, Gino. All right. We want y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can stream our daily newscasts. All you have to do is search for it on your connected TV, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, or Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. Now to the historic coordinated strike against Detroit's big 3 auto companies all at once. Thousands of United Auto Worker Union members walked off the job in 3 states after failing to reach new labor deals with the big 3 by midnight Thursday.
Overnight, the United Auto Workers Union launching a targeted strike, leaving their jobs and launching picket lines.
This is our generation's defining moment.
UAW President Shawn Fain announcing the union's first simultaneous work stoppage against Detroit's big 3 automakers. About 13,000 members began pickets at assembly plants for GM in Wentzville, Missouri, Stellantis in Toledo, Ohio, and Ford in Wayne, Michigan. The UAW not ruling out expanding its strike sites.
This strategy will keep the companies guessing.
The union fighting for higher wages and better benefits, including more paid time off, pensions for newer hires, and retiree pay raises.
We don't want a strike, but we also want a fair contract.
The UAW at an impasse with Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis, the Chrysler and Jeep automaker. Ford and GM only offering about half of the 40% pay raise the union is demanding. Ford CEO Jim Farley asked about his 40% pay increase since the last contract and workers' demands.
We are offering an incredible, unprecedented increase. All they want is for everyone to make $300,000. That's not sustainable.
Automakers say they're facing extraordinary financial pressures as they build electric and gas-powered vehicles and fear labor costs could drive up vehicle prices above their foreign auto competitors. The White House confirming Thursday that President Biden has discussed the ongoing negotiations with the UAW president and the Big Three automakers' leadership. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
A community meeting held last night to gather public input on the Victoria Transit System. Representatives from the Victoria Transit System were at Christ Kitchen to hear from community members on their experiences with the bus system here in Victoria. Victoria Transit System representatives said there is a gap in public input in their 5-year plan regarding the city's bus system, so they are seeking to improve that and involve those who use the bus system. Citizens voiced their concerns from issues with lack of bus transfers, adding bus stops, increasing accessibility, and any issues they may have had with a bus driver. Joey Rosas says he uses the buses here and says the system needs dramatic improvements. He's a disabled veteran, so he's allowed a discounted rate, but he says he was harassed by a driver to receive a discounted fee, 75 cents, rather than $1.50 to ride the bus.
To just address the issues and concerns and just blow that whistle and to treat people with more dignity, more respect, and to have a good accountability, because they're not non-transparent right now. That's what this whole meeting is about, is to have the good transparency with the public, you know what I mean? And to know, to have a good dialogue with the people, you know what I mean? Because apparently some people forgot who they really work for.
Pause for COVID, but that ended September 1st. Fares can range anywhere from 50 cents to $5, depending on how far you're going. Victoria Transit operates Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. and a weekend and evening route, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. evenings and 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Saturday, and it is closed on Sunday. And the 5-year regionally coordinated transportation plan began in 2022 and runs until 2026. To view this plan and the fare schedule, come to our website, crossroadstoday.com. That leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code on your screen to take part. We ask you, have you used the Victoria Transit System? Okay, let's take a look. 18% of you say yes, and the rest of you say no. We want to keep hearing from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. The time is now 6:48 on your Friday morning. Still to come, the FDA says they will seek public input before making a decision on banning a decongestant.
And good morning once again, Trey Mining here. Let's take a look at what's going on currently with temperatures in the 70s area wide, but we won't go throughout the day, heating up fairly rapidly with the clouds and the thunderstorms in our forecast today. We'll still have heat index values approaching or exceeding 100 degrees by the afternoon time, so please be careful out there. And keep your umbrella handy because some of the storms today could be on the heavy side. There's a marginal risk of severe weather today. Looking like the rain chances will probably be along the coast. The western counties coming up by earlier this morning. Later on this morning, I should say, by that time we get the afternoon. Pretty good coverage of rain showers and storms around the region, coming in from the north and from the west. And along the coast will be the best chances to see that. So pretty widespread overall. 92 degrees for your day today. Thunderstorms likely, some on the heavy side. Watch weather developments. We'll keep you updated right here. Overnight lows will be in the 73-degree range with lingering rain showers and storms in the overnight. Again, about a 50-50 chance of storms for your day on Saturday. Keep that in mind as you're making your plans. 92 degrees. Rain chances gradually coming to an end by Sunday. Back to hot and dry for next week. Alert day today and tomorrow because of the threat of severe weather. A marginal risk, that is.
The Food and Drug Administration says it will seek public opinion before making any kind of decision on a widely used decongestant recently deemed ineffective. Earlier this week, an advisory committee to the FDA voted unanimously that phenylephrine does not do anything to ease symptoms. Phenylephrine is found in over-the-counter cold and allergy medicine. The committee advised the FDA that the drugs don't work. Or rather, that drugs that don't work should not be sold. On Thursday, the FDA released an update saying it will take the committee's input and evidence into account, but the agency will make the final decision. The FDA says if it agrees with the panel's view, it will issue a proposed order to remove the drug from the list of drugs recognized as safe and effective. The public will then be allowed to comment before the agency issues its final order. The FDA also reminded consumers there are other cold and allergy medications available over the counter that do not contain that drug. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. The Myrtle fire in Aransas Pass now 100% contained. Refugio County Sheriff deputies and volunteer firefighters dealt with a large brush fire Thursday on Kelly Road just west of the Refugio County Airport. After the fire was put out, it was restarted due to a burning branch falling across the containment line. Firefighters put the blaze under control once again. The Myrtle fire in Aransas Pass now 100% contained and residents are allowed to return home. Authorities tell KIII evacuation orders ended Wednesday night. The fire burned mostly brush and about 80 acres were consumed, but they don't know if any structures were burned or destroyed in this fire. Karnes County had its fourth earthquake this week, and this one was felt in neighboring Wilson County. KSAT reports the U.S. Geological Survey confirmed a 4.0 magnitude quake struck at 1:50 p.m. Thursday, about 11 miles northeast of Falls City. It was the strongest of 4 earthquakes to rattle that area this week. Karnes County hit by 3 earthquakes Monday. We have a notice of 2 jury duty cancellations for you this morning. If you are a juror summoned for duty on Monday at 8:30 a.m. at the Victoria County Courthouse, you're asked to not appear. That trial is canceled and will not be rescheduled. The jury summoned for the trial Tuesday, September 19th at the Justice of the Peace Precinct 4 in Victoria County is also asked to not appear that day. That 8:30 a.m. trial is canceled and will not be rescheduled. Walk for a Cause is tomorrow morning. Set your alarm. They'll start walking as early as, 8 a.m. It goes until 11 a.m. and you meet at Ted B. Reed Park, and the goal is to raise funds to help the Affectionate Arms Adult Daycare reach their $10,000 goal. And so you'll walk a predetermined distance and secure donations from family and friends, and the goal is to promote both mental and physical health of elderly adults and adults with disabilities. An investigation by the Federal Aviation Administration found multiple failures that led to the explosion of a SpaceX rocket in the Rio Grande Valley in April. Read the story by the Texas Tribune at our website, crossroadstoday.com. And we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. And let's take another look at our viewer poll. Today we asked y'all, have you used the Victoria Transit System? I've always been curious, but I haven't quite tried it out yet. I think it's a great story idea. And let's see, 17% of you say yes, you have. And 83% of you say no, you have not. So you're just like me, maybe we should try it out. Okay, come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer polls. Okay, Trey, let's take a look at that forecast. We got a little bit of rain yesterday, giving me some hope for fall feels.
Exactly, and some more rain headed our way today, so definitely catching up on that. That's certainly good news for us. And we have a look at our feel-like temperatures throughout the day, starting off with the 95-degree to 102 down in the Rockport area to Porfirio. North of this in the 70s, what's going on here? That's a weak boundary here. That's going to help produce rain showers and thunderstorms in our region today. The boundary promotes lift in the atmosphere, and that's exactly what the moisture is going to do. It works throughout the rest of the day, though. By the afternoon time, no matter where you are, it'll be at least in the upper 90s, near 100 degrees feel-like temperatures throughout the day. So still dealing with the heat as we go through the rest of the time period. There's some scattered rain showers and thunderstorms today in our neighborhood. Some of those could be on the heavy side, and marginal risk of severe weather today. 92 degrees, scattered rain showers and storms in the forecast area. Overnight lows will be in the 70s. Coming up for your Saturday, scattered rain showers and storms again, so keep that in mind. Make it a great weekend, but be weather aware this weekend. Alert days for today and also for your Saturday. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey, and thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful day and a safe weekend. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today, and join James, Don, Matt, Karina, and Gino today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10.